I'm Jaquan, back in another video, and today we are going to be installing Arctic Liquid Freezer 3 420. As you see, it's already installed because I did record the whole unboxing installation process, and we're still going to see that. And I recorded in the wrong format. I recorded in S&Q on my A7S3 because I was recording 120 frames, 4K. You see the settings, you can't really tell the difference, but in S&Q, you're going to be muted. So you're going to be able to see everything, but just in voiceover form. And then we're going to turn this on and see. But for now, you get to see early how it looks. It looks really good. It fits. You're going to see, I'm going to explain like the fitment and stuff like that and any issues. You're probably wondering why I left from IQ Link. I was actually so glad to leave the IQ Link ecosystem because I had a lot of problems with it. One, the main problem was my Corsair PSU did not have enough slots for my GPU, and as you see in there, I'm using the 12-pin 300-watt power connector straight to my PSU without using an adapter, which is just so much better. I'm going to tuck it in more. It's going to be a little bit more cleaner. A couple things I had to do, but I'm also going to be upgrading my PSU anyways. But still, just having the control as in the IQ Link use that is annoying. Two, it didn't really match the other fans, and I used to have the QX120 fans. You're probably wondering where those are. I returned them because they was extremely loud, like super loud. I actually had another 6. I had all QX fans in here. It was like all 9 QX120 fans in here. Oh no, all 10 QX120 fans in here. I changed to the Arctic 140s, so we have basically 9 Arctic 140s right now. And the other fan over here, you're gonna see that is the Asia Horse 120 fan. So I still have my Corsair stuff. This performance is so much better. It's already been a week and a half, so almost 2 weeks now that I've been using this. But once the video wasn't with the audio, I just pushed it to the side. I just been gaming, and the performance is amazing. I'm not passing 55 degrees Celsius while gaming. While maxing out my GPU, which is a 4070 Super, this is amazing. Now I did have some problems which I don't show in the unboxing of putting the top piece in. I had to like basically unscrew these little screws that lock onto like the little, you know what I'm talking about, from this panel right here. It's like some screws. You can unscrew them and a little bit and it will slide in. It's like sliding in front. So this right here is kind of protruding just a little bit because the screws they use for the rad and the washers. I think I'm gonna use some flat screws. I think there's some actually in the Lian screws they gave me that I'm supposed to use actually instead of these because they're like more rounded. So I'm probably gonna switch those out later. But for now, it's amazing. So I'm gonna turn it on after we see the unboxing. So this basically like, you know, you see the product before we start. So, and for the Arctic Liquid Freezer 3 420 AIO, very nice. We pull up the tabs. Super easy unboxing. I really do like this box versus just like a regular square box. It's super easy access to all the things right away. We have the CPU cap AIO with the VRM fan, looks nice. And then we have the AIO. This thing is huge and surprisingly very good quality for the price. I was actually scared about the quality versus Corsairs. The details on it is really nice, good quality. It's a little box that comes with all the screws, also the connectors, some thermal paste, which is we're gonna see. And it also comes with the bracket for the Intel socket or CPU. And I did a little test fit just to see how it will fit on there. And then we also got this Asia Horse Cosmic Q fan, which is like a Lian type of fan design look. But it's like very cheap. I just needed a good 120 fan with some RGB that I can just have as exhaust fan. That was actually look very nice versus my Corsair, you know, QX120 fan that I replaced. But it comes with a PWM connection. And this little connection right here, I actually didn't really put it in all the way, as you see, but I thought it was in all the way, like when I pushed it. But later in the video, you will see what I mean. I'll explain more, but it's actually a little nice connection. And then this, my 6 140 Arctic fans look so good. And now I'm removing all the PSU connections to my old rad and my Corsair fans, which I'm so glad. We finally get to get rid of IQ Link. So I was disconnecting all my cables, which I was so happy to do. And now removing the CPU cap. I don't know why, but I thought my CPU was just gonna come up with it, which don't make sense. And I see my thermal paste wasn't all the way spread across my CPU evenly. And as you see, it was not all the way on my CPU, which is actually pretty crazy. And on my AIO, you see little spots on the side. And I did have some hot spots on a core on the IQ Link software. One time it was 50 and the rest was 33, which didn't make sense. But now we know, so use your own thermal paste. Look how huge of a difference this AIO is to this 240. It is like 2 times bigger. And the crazy part is that it's almost double the price, literally, for the smaller one. If I knew then what I know now, man. But look, size comparison up and down, it's just like towering over this one. It's actually insane. And one thing I like about Corsair was like the glossy finish it had on there, but Arctic's is like a matte white, which is nice. And this is the brackets for the 420mm rad that will go onto my case, which comes with the Lian case, does not come with the Arctic cooler, which is a big bonus. It comes with screws and instructions for how to install it. You see little hooks that will go inside the mount at the top. I will show a little bit more in detail how this will go in. It's very simple. This is the cold plate that will sit on top of the CPU. the bottom of the rad, which is huge. And we also got some thermal paste, which is not worth it. I'm also using this little thing that comes with the Lian screws I'm just going to scrape across with. So we got the bracket. We're going to place the bracket after I clean the CPU off with alcohol, of course 91. So make sure you use a 91% alcohol when cleaning your CPU. And I placed my motherboard on this foam, and I use that because we're going to be removing the bracket or the mount to hold the CPU, and it has a back plate that will hold the CPU in. And I was very gentle with this. This little screwdriver comes with the AIO, so you don't have to worry about, which is a plus for Arctic because you have to remove this bracket socket. Also, you see it comes straight up. There's a back bracket that you cannot lose because that'll make it very hard to, like, you know, put it back in. Or you could put it back in, but it just makes it difficult. So I was actually nervous about this part, but it was extremely easy. So nothing to be nervous about. So you see this corner, you just have to line it up with the corner that's on the CPU, drop it on, and then screw in the screws that come with the AIO. They show instructions on which ones they are. They're like the smaller, darker gray ones. They don't really have like them separated in like, you know, A, B, C, or D. But yeah, so I just tighten them up slightly on each corner and not just one all the way down. I don't know the torque spec of this. I just did it till my screwdriver stopped, which you probably should do the same. It does not need to be extremely tight because it's just holding the CPU, that's it. And then I lined up my AIO just to test it out, and I almost scratched my CPU and scratched the bottom of the cold plate, which would have been bad. The tubes have a lot of force, be careful. All right, now we get to Arctic's thermal paste, which almost made me rage quit. Like, Arctic, just not include this so we know to buy our own thermal paste, bro. Like, just look at this. It just comes out dry. It wasn't even enough. I'm pushing air, bro. I'm pushing nothingness. It's nothing else coming out of this tube. And looking back at this is crazy because it's my first time applying thermal paste. So make sure you have thermal paste because if it's your first time, you're gonna get trolled, bro, if this is like this. I was so confused because I was like, am I doing this wrong, or is this thermal paste supposed to be like this? I never installed thermal paste ever in my life to something, so this was the first. Why am I still trying? I'm thinking that, you know, maybe it had to be a thin layer, but no, that's not the case. So I wiped it down, and then I went to my local computer store, got some Corsair thermal paste. It came with a spreader. Yeah, I applied this, but you can get on Amazon in my link below. And this is the XTM60, the new Corsair thermal paste, which is actually really good. Now, I did put this on probably like a double layer, but it was so thin, but it was like a double layer. I wanted to make sure my CPU was fully covered, and I did a really good job, honestly, at the end. You're going to see it comes with a little spreader. And I took my time spreading this around. I kind of went full perfectionist mode trying to get this perfect. You see it's kind of thick. I did take off a little thin layer of it again, and you see it was kind of dirty around, which I'm going to clean up. So now we're installing the Cosmic Cube fan. Make sure you install your fan before you put the rad in, because you will probably not be able to have space depending on your case. And to save your fingers, best to do it now. And then we install the top bracket for our case. And make sure you follow how I do it because a certain bracket has to go a certain way. Kind of confusing, but just do exactly like I did with one side of the little hooks facing towards the glass or towards the logo, because that side is going to have to hook into the top of your Lian case. And I know it would be cool to have arrows so it can point to which side, but you can flip it both ways. As you see the thermal paste, this is how it looks when it was done. I fully covered, and then I took the bracket back out, cleaned the bracket just to make sure it's clean, and you see thermal paste looks nice. I thought maybe it was too much. It was enough, trust me. So now you see I'm installing the bracket. You put the little hooks upward, so the hooks have to be facing the glass, and then the non-hooked side of the bracket just lays against the mount of the case, and you will just screw that straight in. And then this part where the hook goes in, you screw into the hook part. It's very confusing, but very simple if you see how I do it. I actually forgot to put my cables in, so make sure you put your cables in, and make sure you don't tighten your bracket on one side. Just lightly screw in each screw point so you can have some movement in case you need to adjust and not end up cracking your rad. And also do not hit the rad, because if you bend one of those fins, it could actually mess up your cooling. Really, if you bend the fin, you have to get it replaced. Now I took off the sticker, and we're going to install it onto the CPU and then screw it in. I was actually so ready just to get this done with, bro, because at first it seemed like a lot, but it was actually pretty easy. So I screwed it to the side. I seen reviews online saying this was hard to do, but it wasn't for me. I screwed one side in, and then I screwed the other side in and tightened it up. And as you see, it is fitted perfectly. And you can screw it in as much as you can. It's screwing into metal, so it's not going to break the motherboard. And now into hiding the RGB cable, which they should have made go through the tubes to the top, but it's okay though. I routed it under my RAM and under my SSD cover, which was a good hiding spot for it, so it can go out through the side, because that is an RGB cable, which I could plug into like an ARGB PWM into my other Arctic fans. So I slid it under, which actually looks really nice and the best I could do. It looks even better when I'm done, as you've seen it from the beginning. And when it's facing upwards, you can't even really see it at all, which I'm so happy about. And this is the VRM fan AAO cap with like a little pin connections. You just put it on there, it magnetizes, and it's super simple, super easy. I was kind of scared that this was not going to look that good versus the Corsair one, because the Corsair one looks so good. But this one actually does look pretty good. I didn't really like the little off-white, like old Macintosh brown look on they have on the inside. I don't know why they didn't just make that black or white. So make sure you align your tubes also so they won't push against the glass. So I push it down just a little bit and also get it to exactly how you want. But yeah, this is the connection that goes to your 3 cables. I will suggest pushing those cables in before you put the rad in. And there's also a single cable you can use to make it easier, but I use the 3s for more control. And for the PWM cable, the fans, you put that in the fan connection, CPU fan. And then the CPU pump header, I put the pump connection into. Also, there's a VRM fan. I just plug that PWM into my other fans. Now I'm plugging in my 12-pin connection, 300 watt, which I couldn't use before. They go straight to my PSU because the IQ Link before was taking a PSU slot. And that looks so nice. And I just turned it on for the first boot. There was a lot of water rushing noise. That's what I was looking at, like, whoa, there's water rushing through. And also you see my Asia Horse fan isn't turned on, but I did fix it by making sure you push it all the way in with the fan connector so you won't have problems. But it looks nice though, very nice. And as you've seen from the whole unboxing and assembly, this was actually pretty easy to assemble. My first time using thermal paste was actually crazy, and I think I perfected it. But maybe it's like a little bit too thick, but I doubt it. I don't know. I'll be able to do it whenever because I got some Corsair thermal paste that probably gonna try to re-thermal paste my PS3 in the future. But for now, let's go ahead and start it up. I'm gonna turn the lights off. As you've seen, I did do a startup already. When I started the first time, I think I explained it, but the water rushing through, which was very loud, it was like for a little couple seconds, but that's actually cool. That's how you know the pump was actually working. So that's a really good thing. So here we go, another start. Here we go. Just so you see the full light on. Fan before my Asia Horse wasn't properly installed because I didn't clamp it all the way. But this is the full build. Now the Asia Horse fans, I feel like the colors are just different. I can't explain it. Sometimes the Asia Horse fans, if I go to the right setting, it's the right colors with a gigabyte motherboard. But the Asia Horse fan is like in a different mode basically. The Asia Horse is more reddish too. If you're in the white mode, it looks more like you have a pink glow on it or a red glow, which I don't really like. But it's okay though because I usually just run it into like a different color. It's annoying, but it's not that big. It's not that bold. All right, I have the glass off. See if you can hear it, how much sound it makes. It's super quiet. I'm using the Sony microphone, which is extremely good. It's like a $400 microphone, and it picks up everything. It's a shotgun mic. I don't have noise cancellation on. I have a low cut filter on. This 420 AIO is the best, and all this air that's pushing up through here is super cool, like extremely cool. If you could just feel the temperature I'm feeling. I need a temperature sensor one day. But basically, this is ultimate performance right here. This price to performance also. My Corsair AIO was like $200, and you've seen the size and you've seen the performance is just way less. It's like half the performance, honestly. And the VRM fan, I think I could just take this off. As you see, it's spinning in there. Okay, the blades are right here. So let's see. Put it on there and see what happens. All right, then we're gonna remove it. Oh yeah, you see the blades are spinning? Now it stopped. And then I could just line this back up. It's back on. I feel like I did the cable hiding extremely good. So you see the main cable with the 3 goes up there, and the ARGB cable is so hidden, it goes just right through there. So I hid that very nice. I'm gonna change my GPU cable to go through there. So I am in a different picture profile right now. It's like a cinema profile, so the colors will look a little bit faded. These colors you probably see are way more vibrant than these colors. Actually, you know what? I probably can change it right now. I'm gonna change the picture profile live so you can see the difference. All right, so I turned off picture profile, so you might can see it just a little bit. These colors are so much brighter than these, or they're not brighter, they are darker, but that's the setting because these can get to this darkness. It's just the settings are online, and I do have this cable plugged into the ARGB up there, and if I daisy chain them, it will still be the same. I can't explain it, I can show, but it's just the gigabyte settings. It's like the wave 1 or wave 2 or D wave, and sometimes when you change one, you can't, it changes all of them. These are all linked together though. All of my Arctic fans are linked on ARGB, but my fans are different. So I have 2 fan connections down there. This row and that row, they're 2 separate rows, and the fans from the rad, plug into the fan header up here. The VRM fan actually plugs PWM into one of these fans connections. Yeah, that is pretty much it. But yeah, I'm very happy with my build. I feel like it's complete now. I can actually just game and not have to like worry about any temperatures. It's actually crazy though. My first time building a PC was actually a year ago. It's February of last year. Well, like at the beginning of February, so end of January basically. Now, a year later, we have this build, which is truly amazing and truly a blessing, bro. I should have been built PCs a long time ago, honestly, instead of buying pre-builts or PC laptops, gaming laptop. Maybe I might make a video about things I wish I knew before I built my first PC. My main thing would be do not get a 240mm cooler, AIO. Just don't. If you're gonna be doing like i7, of course, you gotta get 360 above. But now we get 420mm and 140mm fans up and down. In the rear, 120 fan. Yeah, it's the Asia horse. I still could return this. I don't know. If I could get the Arctic one, I would return this, but it looks pretty good. I'm not gonna lie, it looks pretty good. Versus Lian Li, I would have got the Lian Li LCD fans. I might still get Lian Li LCD fan just to put back here. That depends though. If I get the little LCD cap adapter that they have for this cooler, it will fit on most coolers. I don't know. But the reason why I didn't get the Lian Li 360mm Hydro AIOs because I don't really want a screen on there because I don't want to have to rely on keeping it on my desk because honestly I might be putting my PC like mounted up on like another shelf behind my desk on my build, but I don't want to pay $200 more or $100 more. So I want to be able to just use this strictly performance, get what I gotta do done. That's it until we get the 5090, which we'll be adding here. I was so right of why I was glad I bought the 4070 Super because I know I bought it in October and I knew this was going to happen. I knew I wouldn't be able to get an NVIDIA GPU that I need or want, especially for the price. The next video, if we upgrade my PC, will be a 5090. If you like this video, please like, subscribe, and comment down below. I'm gonna see you later. Boy Jaquan. Peace.